Hey guys, I'm back. I'm currently in my living room because it's the brightest part of my house, so ignore. Hey loves, I'm back with more of my strange and uncomfortable art. If you're new to this channel, I'm Natalie. I'm a surrealist artist. I love everything weird, whimsical, uncomfortable, and psychology related. And this is part two of my The Happiness Paradox series 8 drawing art collection. Yes, eight drawing happiness paradox collection. This is part two of my The Happiness Paradox series collection, where I'll be showing all 8 of my works in the series under the theme The Happiness Paradox, which basically means that the more you search for happiness, the less you'll find it. If you're interested on more of that theme and the inspiration behind the overall theme, check out the video titled I Lost My Mind. That's the first video of this series. So can't wait to go into the depths of part one, well, part two, but first drawing of the series titled The Ego. So that drawing is the first drawing of the collection and the first drawing I made in the collection and the whole reason why I came up with this collection. So before I came up with the theme, I did 4 concept sketches. Hold on, let me show you them. So these are the 4 concept sketches I made, and as you can see, my pufferfish is right there. And as I said, I think in the last video, I don't ever come up with the meaning before the artwork. I always see a vision of something that's funny or anything. A random image comes to my head, I draw it, I make it come to life, and then I tie a meaning after it's done or while I'm doing it. And the same thing happened with this drawing, the ego, and with the overall theme. I created these 4 concept sketches. They had literally no theme, and then I tied a theme to them so they all can relate somehow. And then the Happiness Paradox series was born. For the ego, I think the inspiration behind that drawing is super important. So, um, last 2 semesters ago, no, 2 years ago, 2 years ago in the spring semester, I had a painting class and we had a final. So, of course, I did surrealism and I did this. So, this was my final project, and this came into my head also randomly. At first, the idea was alphabet soup. And then as I started drawing it, I scrapped the alphabet soup idea and I was like, okay, like I need something funny. Like what is funny? And the first thing that came to my head was fish and how fish are just dumb. So I painted fish. I changed the alphabet soup into an ocean and I painted goldfish everywhere with a little bit of inspo of Alice in Wonderland because that is the best thing on this planet. And now looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is not that good and it's kind of like ugly and crappy. Like I could do better, but it's okay. It was peak. It was peak at the time. And since then, sorry, I don't know where to put it. And since then, the whole like fish idea came into my head and the summer after that semester, I was walking to the garage and the image that just came in my head like randomly as I was walking to my garage was person blowing up a pufferfish like a balloon. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever and I had to paint it. Originally it was a painting idea, but I drew it and it turned into this. This drawing within my The Happiness Paradox series is about inflating one's ego and how that is focusing on the external validation aspect of the happiness paradox. So, as you search for external validation, you're hurting yourself because you're not staying true to who you are. So, this pufferfish is a representation of the ego and someone blowing it up. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that only is focusing on external validation. And outside sources and what they tell you and being liked and fitting in, whatever, feeling like you're the best, anything to do with the ego and how that hurts you because you're looking for external validation. You're not looking truly within to who you are and truly accepting who you are and being happy with who you are because you're trying to cover it up with this inflated ego that you have. And that hurts you in the end because you're losing who you are. You're losing a part of yourself just because you want to be better and better and better in a negative way because you want to be just better than everyone else. and not better as in the best person you could be. So that is represented with the poison of the pufferfish. Pufferfish are poisonous, and that represents how feeding your ego is poisonous and hurts you in the end. But as you see from But as you see from this image, she does not look uncomfortable. She does not look in pain. She doesn't look like she's ingesting any poison. And that is where the unconscious mechanism of the happiness paradox series comes into play. That is the denial of how feeding your ego hurts you. Like, no one really thinks of that as they're looking for external validation. They're looking to build their ego. No one's looking at how that's going to hurt them in the end. So that's the denial aspect. You know it's going to happen, but you just refuse to believe it in that given moment, because in that given moment you feel that 10 seconds of happiness before that crash. And that is a really quick summary of my the ego drawing number one in the Happiness Paradox series. So now I'm going to show you guys my sketchbook and my silly little reference photos I took. So these are a couple of my original sketches. I didn't know if I should have a tube going between the pufferfish and my mouth. Like, I'm not touching the pufferfish with my lips, because as I was drawing it, I was getting uncomfortable and I'm like, no, this is really strange. Like, this looks so not correct. So I did a sketch with a tube and I sent it to my friends and I was like, tube or no tube? And they said, absolutely not. Do not do the tube one. So basically that's a cute little sketch of the pufferfish drawing. And this is my really strange reference photo. I couldn't think of how to take this reference photo other than blowing into a balloon. And I know it's strange, but I took like 15 of these photos and I finally chose this one, and they're all really weird. And for the pufferfish, I could not think of how to do, like, how do I draw a pufferfish? So I went on Google and I typed in 3D pufferfish rendering, and then I got a 3D pufferfish rendering. So thanks some either graphic design student or some like engineer student, thank you for making a 3D pufferfish rendering on Google, because without you, I could not have drawn this drawing. So thank you to whoever that was personally. I forgot to mention I used charcoal in all these images. We could have done colored pencil or Conti or something else, like on any drawing material, but I didn't want to do colored pencil because it was going to take forever. This was my first drawing, so this set me for the rest of the other 8 drawings. And Conti is similar to pastel, and I hate pastels just because I'm really bad at them. That's the only reason why I hate them, but I think they're absolutely beautiful if you know what you're doing. I don't. So I did charcoal, and I like the black and white of this image and all these images because I feel like that also adds more to the theme. It adds that like happiness is a gray area. Like, happiness, external validation is also happiness because it makes you happy, but that's not the correct type of happiness. But who am I to define someone else's happiness and saying their happiness is wrong? So that's why that happiness is a gray area, and that black and white, because like, if you can't have happiness without sadness, because then you won't know what happiness feels like if you never felt sad before, and vice versa. If you never felt happy, how can you know what feeling sad is like? So that's why I love that black and white aspect. And if you agree, comment below and let me know what you think. If maybe I should have added color, maybe it would have given a second dimension to it. And I didn't even put this together, but at the end of my series, when we were doing a critique, everyone was saying that they like that I used the white background because it's that really strong contrast between that image, which is in your face. When you're looking at it, you're uncomfortable, but it's also not gory and it's not like creepy. It's just uncomfortable. So then that white background calms the image, and it gives it like that really like that settling tone, which is like the image is uncomfortable, but it's not bad, it's not creepy. So it's like that somber background. I don't know. Also, what do you guys think? Should I have done a color background? Should I added something to the background? Because the only reason why I did that solid background on this image was because I didn't want to do too much so the image would get lost. And then because I did a white background on this one, I had to continue my white background for the rest. Thank you for watching my second video in my The Happiness Paradox series. This was on the first drawing in the series. And if you absolutely love that drawing, if you absolutely hated that drawing and never want to see it again, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys absolutely so much. And that's it. Thank you so much. My next video is going to be on the second drawing of the series, which is going to be even more chaotic because I filmed it as I was drawing the video, and the artwork is also even more unsettling. So if you love weird art, come stay weird with me and check out my next video. I promise I'll post it soon. And that's it. Stay weird.